These are the tools you may need. 1/2-inch breaker bar, 1/2-inch torque wrench with a 3/8 adapter, a 1/2-inch deep socket, 1/2-inch short socket, a 3/8 ratchet, a 7 and 8 millimeter 1/4-inch drive socket, 1/4-inch drive ratchet and extension, also a screwdriver, a magnetic pickup tool in case you drop a part into a hard to reach spot. You will also need an 18 millimeter socket. Replacing the alternator. First of all, disconnect the negative terminal on the battery. I'll disconnect this with the screwdriver under here. I'll disconnect this with a 7 millimeter socket. This is mounted on the alternator. This is power back to the battery. That's this wire right here. Charges the battery. Loosen the belt. Use 18 millimeter socket on a big socket wrench. You're gonna take it and push this direction counterclockwise. And this is a new tensioner. Usually I use a bigger breaker bar. At this point, you can slip the belt off the alternator. All that's holding it in are these 2 bolts. Right here and right here. You can get a 1/2-inch shorter deep socket, get on there. You gotta loosen these 2 up. There we go, got the 1/2-inch socket on here. I'm gonna give it a yank counterclockwise. Sorry, I'm not going to yell like Chris Fix. This one goes straight through to here, hooks into the stabilizer right here. You did not have to take that off. Alternator's loose now at this point. Okay, so as soon as this bolt comes out, I can swing the alternator up. If I need to work with it out of the way, it's really cool. You'll see that in a second. Pull the bolt out. So it's about 2.5-inch bolt. Set it aside in a good spot where it's not going to go rolling away. Alright, try to do this one-handed. See that tab right there? Flip it up and probably just push on it. Yep, there it goes. Flip that tab up. Disconnected, check the connections. Looks pretty good. Don't have to worry about this one because this one's going bye-bye. You don't have to mess with this guy. Watch this. This is actually pretty cool. You gotta make sure none of these cables catch here. See right here, it's gonna want to catch back here. Now it's just gonna go like this. So now you can get to, if you ever need to flip that aside and get into here where the heater core inlets are. Check some of your wiring or something. Check this guy right there, that's coming out of the timing cover. This alternator is gonna go bye-bye because it sucks. It is remanufactured hunk of junk, didn't last. Bought it 4 years ago. It sat most of the time. Something's wrong with it, even though it just sounds great. It's clean. Something's wrong with it, the insides. It's not providing proper power. My battery light's coming on when I rev it and drive it a little harder. So it's going bye-bye. So all I gotta do is take out this bolt right here. Alternator comes out. See, this bolt right here is just gonna slip right out. It hooks into this stabilizer right here. Actually, that's loose. I'm gonna tighten her back down. Probably about 10 foot-pounds, something. Pull this bolt out, alternator comes out. It's a long bolt. All right, you ready? That's it. Here's the new Delco. Yes, it is made in China. However, it does have at least a year warranty, I believe. So take it out of the box. Here she is. Inspect it. Comes with a new bolt. Right here. Use the new bolt. Check your connections. Make sure they're all straight. Take her. Make sure it spins. Good. Doesn't make a crazy noise. There's the old and the new bolts. That would be original. This is the brand new one. The new one. Go on here. Screw it in. This is the line that's going to charge the battery. Put the screw in about halfway. Actually, I'm going to back it out a little bit. Or not. You're not going to put it on here yet. You're going to put the alternator on here first. Make sure this is lined up. Run the bolt through. Let the alternator sit. Don't tighten it up all the way, so you can swing it back down. Then you're going to put the other bolt through here, through the alternator, through the tensioner. Then screw this down. Then plug it in. Placing this in here. Okay. Can you see the bolt? Okay. Hold it up a little higher so you can see back here. Might have to wiggle the alternator a little bit to help the bolt go in better. All right, hand tight. See, she swings. Just need a screw. So now I got the bolt in. Tighten it down, get it tight, and then go another like 1/8 of a turn. Just make sure it's on there tight. Then we're gonna fit this back down in here. Fiddle with the spark plug cables a little bit. Get it back down to line up the hole and run the bolt through. Bracket, make sure it's on the outside of the alternator. Our power wire is back there, connected up and tight. The tab on this is going to go on the outside. So it just pops right on. Pull on it a little bit, wiggle it, make sure it doesn't pop out. Okay, now we're going to tighten up the bolt. We're going to torque the bolt. And then we're going to swing the pulley back up, the tensioner pulley. So, because like right now, see, we can't get it. We can't get the pull. We can't get the belt on without swinging the tensioner back up. Tighten up the bolts. nice and tight. Recheck your stuff. We're connected here. There's our power wire down there. Oops, can't get it focused. There's a power wire screwed into the alternator. Power wire runs right along here into the battery. We left the positive on. We're going to ground the battery in a minute. But let's get the belt on first, because we want to be careful. We don't want to have a chance at starting the engine when we're messing around in here. That's why the ground is off the battery. You do that because the positive, if it touches the body and the battery's grounded, you make a connection and it gets crazy. We're going to get on the tensioner pulley like this. We're going to swing it forward like that, and then we're going to bring the belt up over the alternator. After you get it up over the alternator, you just let the tensioner, move back. It's under a lot of strain on the spring. You keep it back here. All right, so here we go. We're going to tighten up these two bolts for the generator. Set your torque wrench 36 foot-pounds, but I'm going to set it to 32. And then I check the torque twice. I like to try to do them evenly. Check your wiring. Make sure nothing's like in the way of the belt. All right, make sure you check down here on your AC condenser. Your AC pulley down here. Mine had actually moved over to here. So when I put this on, the belt wasn't on right here. So you gotta make sure to go through everything, follow the belt around, make sure it didn't come off with something, because all heck's gonna break loose. Make sure it's around the balancer down here, on the water pump, pulley, power steering. Make sure it's not twisted or anything. Another good thing to do is just check your, when you have the belt off, check it. Make sure there's no cracks in it. This is a new one. Make sure there's no cracks or anything. Make sure it's not twisted like funny. That's it. All we gotta do is reconnect the battery and we're ready to fly. Fire her up. Last thing you do after you start her up, turn on the parking lights and then the headlights. You'll just see a slight drop like that. Voltage is still good. Idling pretty good. 31 years old.